Hi guys, okay, it's tattoo day again. I've got my bottle of Lucozade, I've got a bag of mint imperials in my bag, and now I go for that really long walk again. But I've got my snuddy on. Yeah, I guess it's technically PJs, but it's like the warmest thing I own and I love it, and it's snuggly and I want to wear it basically. So I'm gonna go for a nice long walk in my snuddy, really comfy, and go finish off my arm pretty much. I'm doing all roses and flowers, finish off the rest of my forearm, and then I've just got a couple of gap fillers at the top and I'm done. I will see you when I get there. Oh my god, it's so cold. Just had to go to Tesco's. Woo. Get a coffee and a chocolate croissant. I wanted an Americano or an espresso, but they don't have them, so I had to get a vanilla latte, which it'll do. It'll do the job. But it is so cold, I just wanted something to warm me up, honestly. On I go. Okay, so it is the next day. I didn't film any of the actual tattooing just simply because I was in like a really awkward position a lot of the time. It took almost 4 hours. I was in a really awkward position trying to get like my elbow, which was fun, and like up in here, which is like almost, well, it is my armpit basically. So like all in here, the backs of my arms. So I was in like some weird positions and I just didn't have the flexibility to hold my phone or my camera in a way that you would be able to see anything. I suppose I could have filmed like this stuff here, but it was just, it didn't occur to me to film this stuff at the time because this was like the very first bit. We started from the wrist and worked our way up. I was not expecting to go above the elbow, I'll be honest. I thought that we was just going to go from wrist to elbow and kind of cut off around the elbow area, but I'm very happy that we did. We spoke about it and stuff. When I got there, he already had like an idea of what we was doing, because this has been something in the making for a while. Like I did the photo frame, what, 2 months ago? These two up here, I don't know if you can see. So this and this, I did that about 2 years ago. Greg did not do those two. I got those done by an apprentice. But he did this rose right here, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, and I've been speaking to him pretty much for about 5 years. I'm trying to like work it out. It must have been about 5 years since I first discussed the idea of this sleeve with him. So he's like fully, like, he knew exactly what I wanted, how I wanted it, and everything beforehand. So it's like we've had these conversations. I'd go in for one tattoo and we'd talk about this over time, and I don't know, I put it off until now kind of thing. So I booked in for a 3-hour slot. I got there at 10, well, I got there about 10 to 10, and he knew what I wanted. He had some sketches, he had some stuff already printed out, so he printed some more flowers off, and some like little like leaves and like clusters of leaves, and like, I don't know if there's berries. I think there's berries somewhere, I don't know, but there's like a whole bunch of flowers and lilies and just different flowers all over the place. We got my elbow. He knew I was nervous about the elbow, so he didn't even tell me about the elbow until afterwards, like as he was doing it, because he knew I didn't really want to go on like the full elbow area. Like we've spoken about it a lot, and I was like, I really don't want to do the elbow, it scares me. The elbow is one of those things, everyone says how scary and painful it is and how you can feel the needle like rattle against the bone. I've got my knee done, that wasn't so bad. So I don't know, in my head I built the elbow up like to a 50 and actually it was like a 6. It wasn't actually as bad as like what I'd made out in my head. Like I thought it was gonna be way worse. But we left like the very like knobbly area empty because he said that this kind of area right here doesn't really hold ink that well. We've gone around it, like there's a little bit of a gap. We might go into that a little bit more, just with like a couple more tiny leaves, but he didn't want to go like right on the most textured area, like the very center of your elbow, because he knows it doesn't hold very well and it doesn't like to behave basically. So he said that he was going to go around it but not on it, and he did the stencil and everything, which I was fine with.
Editing Amy here. Okay, so I did forget to mention that a lot of what you can see that is outlined that got done yesterday was actually free-handed. He did stencils for the flowers, and then between them, all of the gaps between them is completely hand drawn. He did leaves and the little branches and all that sort of thing. He drew a few of the flowers by hand on my skin with Sharpie, and then built it so that it looked like a big cohesive piece, like it was all done in one session, so it doesn't look as a patchwork sleeve, which this technically is, as I already had existing tattoos before this session. So technically this is a patchwork sleeve, it just won't look like a patchwork sleeve because it will look cohesive because of those hand-drawn sections that he added to combine them all together.
And usually he tells me like this here, he was like, oh, we're gonna do a nippy area, so it goes here and then down the side of my elbow here. And he was like, oh, we're gonna do a nippy one because we're done like the forearm. And then he was like, oh, we're gonna do a nippy one now. So we put the stencils on the forearm and then we did that, and he was like, do you want to continue, do you want to go higher? He also asked how low I want this to go, and I was like, honestly, I'm not that bothered. I'm probably gonna get my hand done sometime. I've got this on my hand, I've got a couple of my fingers, so having it on my hand wasn't a big deal. So he's gone, I mean, you can see it does go slightly onto my hand, but if I wear a sleeve it will be covered. He said that we can come back to that at some point, but basically we did the forearm and then we took a quick break, like a 5-minute break, and then we came back and he added more stencils to the top, and we just kept going basically up until his next client walked in. She was about 20 minutes early, and he was like, right, just take a seat, we're gonna be a little bit longer. Like she wasn't waiting like past her appointment time, she just got there early. So we did that, and then he had about 10 minutes and then he started on his next client. But yeah, so I've got one more session to go, which is booked in for January 7th, and that is to do all the shading in all the little flowers and in the leaves, which should take about 3 hours, which really isn't bad. Like it's a full arm. I have got the mandala, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him, if I just, so it comes, excuse the no bra, but honestly the bra strap kept tugging on this area and I wasn't about it. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get him to pull in a couple of leaves to this way, just because it feels like, I love it, but it feels like it just stops here. So I think I want to kind of bring some more like around here up to the mandala and kind of pull in the mandala into the rest of my sleeve. But I'm loving this so much, like it makes me so happy. A lot of people are gonna be like, well, it's just flowers. Yeah, it's just flowers, but I love flowers, and flowers do have a big meaning to me. Growing up, there was always flowers about. My granddad loved his roses in his garden, and whenever I see roses, I always think of my granddad, who sadly passed. And I don't know, I just love the idea of something girly and floral that does still have meaning to me, but it's not always apparent that it has a meaning. I don't think that all tattoos have to have a meaning. I've got plenty that don't have a meaning, but yeah, this, it's not gonna get questions like, why you got flowers? Because I like flowers. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's gonna be like, why you got flowers? But yeah, I think it is beautiful. It's feminine, it's girly, but it's still a big ass tattoo. Like this in here, ooh, this whole area was way more sensitive than my elbow. Like this hurt more than all of this, which is really odd. Like you would never think. But yeah, this is what we have so far. I cannot wait for next month. I've got 4 weeks and then we get the shading and then I can move on to my next project, which I think might be this arm. The only thing I have on this entire arm is this. So I don't know, I want to figure, I don't really know what theme I want to do for this arm. I do know I want this arm to be in colour, this all to be in black and grey. I'm doing it the same with my legs, but my left leg is all like, well, it's colour with black and grey, so I want to do the other side black and grey with colour. So I've got, I don't even know how to explain it. This leg is mainly black and grey with a bit of colour. I want to do my next leg mainly colour with a little bit of black and grey, where this arm's going to be completely black and grey and this arm is going to be completely colour. I do have colour here though, which really bugs the life out of me, like why I decided to do this arm as the black and grey arm, but it's fine. I'll get over it. I didn't think about that 9 years ago when I got it. But yeah, like I cannot wait to start on this arm. I've just got to figure out a theme. I know I want it to be colour, I want it to be kind of girly, but I don't want it to be girly as in this kind of girly. I still want it to have edge and like alternative meanness to it. I don't know if I kind of want to go down like the horror kind of movie kind of route or what. I'm not 100% sure, but I know I want it to be colour, so I've got to think about that because I will probably get that booked in January when I get the shading for this one. But yeah, that is what we've done so far today. Thank you so much for watching. I know that there's not like tattoo footage, but I hope you enjoyed just seeing this. I will say that was an interesting experience. I built it up so much more in my head than what it was. Yes, it was painful, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I can't do this, stop, ow, I'm gonna scream and cry. I didn't make any noise. I was just silent and I just like kind of closed my eyes and breathed through it. It took a few minutes. I mean, you can see what's on there. What is on there? Leaves. There's a bunch of leaves here, there's another leaf here, a flower, and then more leaves. So yeah, it's gonna be shading on there, but it's not gonna be too bad, I don't think. I hope, I pray. But yeah, I built it up like to a 50. It's actually about a 6. It wasn't as bad as my feet. My feet hurt a lot more than my elbow. The very top of your thigh, just under your bum, hurt more than my feet though. The rest of my thigh was fine, but that very bit just under your butt, like where it creases into your butt, that is worse than the feet, I will tell you that right now. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and have you got any suggestions for the sound, because I need to figure it out, I guess. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.